Hello everyone, welcome on into the stream. I nearly knocked my microphone over, unmuting it. Hello everyone. Hope everyone's doing good. Welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We are back. I love this new background we got. It's very pretty. Last episode, we finished off, or last stream, we finished off episode 2 of Resolve, the Memoirs of Clouded Kokoro. And this time we have started episode 3. All we've done so far is watch the opening cutscene. And I'm pretty sure where we left off, we were still in a voice acted segment. So, investigation part 1, experimentation stage. So let's hop right into it. This was voice acted, but I'll repeat it. We're here at the showground of the Great Exhibition, which is absolutely packed with people.
The weather is unusually fine, and we're about to witness a most extraordinary scientific experiment.
What scientific experiment? Hello.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 20th century will see steam engines and electrical power dominate the world.
Yeah, let's go.
Horse-drawn carts will give way to the motor car.
Let's
Ships
go.
will sprout wings and take to the skies.
Whoa. This guy's ahead of his time.
And today, we showcase even more advanced technology. A glimpse into the future. A world first. A demonstration of my super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine.
Not the super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine.
A man will literally be disassembled by a
What?
high voltage electricity and
Oh
brought
no.
to another location.
Oh no. This is going to go very well.
Whereupon his body will be reassembled by a series of complex calculations exactly as it was before.
Okay, a teleporter. I'm sure no one's gonna be murdered in it. I'm sure that guy's not gonna be murdered.
In but a few moments from now, this gentleman will, in the blink of an eye, complete an incredible journey through the air. To arrive an instant later on the crystal tower behind you!
Let's go. Is this actually science or a magic trick? The voice acting's so cute. Oh man, I wanted to see what happened. 22nd October, 9:36 a.m. Sholmes' suite.
Reno, are you listening?
Oh, sorry. What was that, Iris?
What's the matter with you? You've been miles away all the morning. Didn't you like what I cooked for breakfast?
No, that's not it at all. What were you talking about again? Where's your head at, Renosuke?
Today's paper. It's full of news about the Great Exhibition again.
Yes, the Great Exhibition. I'd like to go sometime. Oh, they mentioned that before, didn't they, in the last game? I think? Or am I crazy? I may be mistaken.
You're really not your usual self today. You seem very down.
You seem depressed or something.
Don't you agree, Hurley?
Oh man, he's also depressed. Did you say something, Iris? Why is everyone so sad?
Oh gosh, you're even more down.
I love the little musical sting. Ah! When did you arrive, Mr. Naruhodo? Why is he gonna fight me? I've been here for about half an hour already. We had breakfast together. What? Why didn't you mention it before? I thought you might have known I was here. You know, because... breakfast? I love Ryunosuke. Iris is quite right. You're clearly lacking in vim. So much so that I didn't notice your presence. Okay, rude. Thanks. Of course, I could deduce the reason perfectly well with some simple observations. What? Let's see. Yes, for example, your tousled hair this morning with all its unruly spikes. Clearly it can be deduced, therefore, that... let me stop you there, Mr. Sholmes, because I can see where this is going. My hair always looks like this. It always has. Ever since we first met, in fact. It's a genetic thing, the spikes. It's going to be passed on through this entire bloodline. Oh, really? How interesting. It just doesn't look like a haircut as such, I suppose. Thanks again. It crossed my mind recently that it's been 6 months now.
6 months?
Since I was forbidden from working in court. What happened? What happened? Ryunosuke. So I've been wondering how much longer I'm gonna be banned. Why is he banned? So it's not like he's got like disbarred or anything. He's just been temporarily banned. Why?
Oh, well, that would explain why you seem rather glum. Don't you agree, Hurley?
No. Did you say something, Iris? He's also gonna go through a freak out. Ryunosuke, when did you get here? Back to moping. What is in the air today? What's the matter with Mr. Sholmes today? He seems even more down in the dumps than me.
I know, and the Great Exhibition is opened. You'd think he'd be excited. Oh, why don't we all go see it together?
I want to, of course I do, but I can't. Not for the time being, okay? Why not? Why not? Why not? Because I'm a great detective after all. So you're embroiled in some tricky case that you can't be distracted from? Is that it?
I don't remember hearing that you're working on a case, Hurley.
I suppose I should try to find out what's going on. You think? Then 6 months ago, yes. Half a year ago now. I took on the defense of a young girl in a trial heard at the Old Bailey. Oh, so it has to do with Gina's case? What at first seemed like a simple case of murder that took place at a London pawnbrokery. Yeah, Gina. Turned out to be one part of a much more far-reaching plot that involved the British government. What? Oh, that's right. Yes. Yes, the discs. Yes, I remember. I completely forgot about the discs for a minute. During the course of the trial, it was found that I made an unavoidable yet at the same time unforgivable mistake. Oh! So, okay, I get it. I can see why he was banned from court. That makes sense. Words failed me. This situation is utterly deplorable. Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, my lord? I will decide upon your fate following the conclusion of the trial. Of course, my lord. In the end, I had my right to represent people in court revoked. I was told I had to spend my time in research and study, so that's what I've been doing. That's because you expose government secrets in court, but you know.
You have, haven't you, Bruno? Reading all those big fat tomes about British law up in your room, and the notes about Sholmes's old cases.
brewing Iris's special blends of tea, fetching my daily bread for me. You've become something of a manservant around here. Start on the silverware next, Master Naruhodo. Well, I'm thinking I'm going to ask the powers that be to reconsider. Specifically Lord Strongheart at the British Supreme Court on Whitehall.
Lord Strongheart?
Ah, the delightful Lord Chief Justice. Not my favorite fellow. He's not mine either, but he's the man I have to talk to. He's the only one who can grant permission for me to start working in the courts again. I came to Britain to become the best lawyer I could. And I can't do that just sitting around here. The Great Exhibition. The whole of London has been swept up in this great exhibition, hasn't it? The most advanced science, the most modern technology, the finest works of arts and feats of engineering. For the next 6 months, our capital will be showcasing these things, and the world will be watching.
Oh, do you know what I'd like to do? I like to look down on London from one of those lovely balloons.
Look down on... Do you mean those things fly?
Yes, of course. They fly high in the sky and don't even need wings to do it. All you need is hot air.
No, I think his suspension is for getting McGilded falsely acquitted. Yes, you're right. You are very right. But how? How does hot air have anything to do with flying? It makes no sense. I can't understand it at all.
That's true of a lot of new scientific discoveries. Most people can't understand them at first. But in 100 years' time, all these things will just be common knowledge.
I suppose they might be.
Mind you, some of the science being demonstrated seems very questionable. Something went wrong on the open experimentation stage yesterday, apparently. There was a huge explosion. Still, I wish I'd seen it, though. I'd love to see how bad some of these scam experiments really are.
Says the innocent 10-year-old girl. See here. Every page of this paper carries some article or other about the Great Exhibition. But the brighter things shine, the darker the shadows that are cast behind them. Personally, I find myself drawn to the darkness. To the impenetrable. That is my proper atmosphere. I'm drawn to the darkness. Okay, we'll read that in a second. A newspaper containing various articles about the world-leading science and technology on show at the Great Exhibition being held in London. Shadows cast behind? Is that a metaphorical way of referring to the back page of the paper? Okay, we'll definitely read it. Okay, hold on. Alright, what's on the front first? Every article on the front page is news about the Great Exhibition. Public experiments to demonstrate brand new scientific ideas, cultural exhibits from around the globe. It's also positive and hopeful about the coming century. We must all go see it properly before too long. Alright, what's on the back? It's upside down. So many glowing reports about the Great Exhibition and everything that's going on there. Other than this rather gloomy looking one that is. Is it the Reaper attack? And there's a lost cat. No. I'm like reading it upside down because I forgot to flip it. What was it? Hold on. Ruffians aim to intimidate a man of justice. Lord Von Zeeks and compatriot cornered. Oh, interesting. Wait, what?
What's the matter, Bruno?
Oh my, he flipped it for me. Wait, I want to actually read it. There's actually stuff written. Fiery ball gown sets dance hall ablaze. An evening of cordial dancing turned into a blazing ball last week. One of the lady attendees' dresses accidentally caught on fire. In her panic at the sudden appearance of flames at her feet, the ladies dashed madly about the whole of the no fewer than 3, but thankfully the fires. French court hears glass eye case. The Judge de Pas of Neuilly was presented today with the most curious case of a lady who refused to pay her dues for the purchase of one glass eye. The whole affair began when Madame Ployette, the defendant, ordered the eye's replacement for the natural eye she had lost. Upon its arrival, she found that she could see no more with it than she could before, became incensed at the thought of paying for a deficient product. The judge had attempted to reason with the madam, and they never proved to be that. It's time for the most rare thing in the entire franchise, a good case 3. Oh, let's go. Let's see. It appears that, in a rather unexpected fashion, Christian, prize offered, blah blah blah. It appears that the winner will not even be a man at all, but rather a young American lady by the name Maria Mitchell of Nantucket, Massachusetts, though there were multiple competing claims of the new comet's discovery from all nations, including one by British astronomer Mr. William Rudder Dawes. King Christian was swayed by the fervent petition of Harvard President Edward Everett to urge the charge d'affaires of the United States of Copenhagen, as the fact of Miss Mitchell's discovery is undoubted. And then ruffians. Lord Prosecutor Barak under threat is heavily armed assailant, knives and pistols, the sight of his companion, the Blackguard's reporter. What? Ugh. Randowski, move out of the way, I'm trying to read this. I say that as someone who is a fan of saying the dark age of the law, where the ends justify the means. The Reaper attacked? That's Lord Van Zeeks. This must be what Mr. Sholmes was talking about. Does he know any more, I wonder? Oh, man. I wanted to read what was going... Randowski's head was in the way. Whatever. Alright, let's ask about his mood first. Oops. Are you investigating a particularly tricky case at the moment, Mr. Sholmes? You could say that, I suppose. Nothing more to add? That's not like you. What sort of case is it? Shh! Quiet, Mr. Naruhodo. We must not discuss it here. You never know who might be listening. Okay. Okay. Fine, cool.
You're acting very strangely, Hurley.
What do you mean, Iris? He's always like this.
Well, usually. The more mysterious and complicated a case is, the better Hurley's mood. Is it really a case that's bothering you?
Iris, please, you mustn't exercise your astute powers of observation and deduction on me without invitation. Only I'm allowed to do it without invitation. Remember what I always say. Put yourself in the shoes of the individual about whom you're making deductions. You say that, do you? You, Mr. Sholmes. Never mind. Once I've had a cup of tea, I must make my way at once to the crime scene. Oh. That was a deep sigh. Alright, the Reaper. What happened? What happened with Lord Van Zeeks? It says in the paper that Lord Van Zeeks was attacked. That's terrible. You know the legend of the Reaper of the Bailey, of course. Don't you? Only too well, in fact. Well, the music disappeared, so I imagine it's very dark. Yes. Prosecutor Barak Van Zeeks. No. They say that if the Reaper is the prosecutor in a case, there's no salvation for whoever's in the dock. Even if the defendant is found not guilty. Once the Reaper has someone in his sights, one way or another, that person's time left on this earth will be short. London's finest rogues always find ways around the law. They'll stop at nothing to secure an acquittal at trial. Falsifying evidence, paying sham witnesses, threatening jurors, bribing judges. Anti-shoutouts to the worst case of the series. West Clowna, Lance, and Ernest Namano and the 1,000 Blue Badgers. But even such devious tactics as these cannot save them from the hands of the Reaper. As you've experienced yourself, haven't you, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, I've seen the Reaper's retribution at work. Many of these criminal rogues are reckless and quite unafraid to die. If a leader among their fraternity is seen to have been taken by the Reaper, Retaliation like this does occur. And I was debating which was worse and decided the bait and switch was funnier. It is. It was pretty good. Really, the capital has a never-ending supply of such scoundrels. So, do you mean Lord Von Zieks has been attacked like this before? This isn't the first time? He's quite an accomplished combatant, you know. Have you fought him? He doesn't take these attacks lying down. Although, it seems that his assailants were armed with guns this time. Oh my god! Actually, speaking of, let's go watch the security footage of the evidence room again. Oh god, not again. No, please. I never want to go back there. Oh my goodness, is he alright then? Is Lord Van Zieks hurt? My dear fellow, how on earth would I know? Oh my god, Sholmes is so funny. Oh my god, he kills me every time.
Well, in the article here it says, as to what of Lord Van Zieks and his condition, all will be revealed in tomorrow's morning edition.
I see. Well, we shall have to be patient then. Alternatively, the footage from the concert again. Oh god. Sholmes kills you. No, he doesn't. He's a great detective. Of course, of course. Never. No. I can wait until tomorrow. In that case, you shall have to inquire with somebody in the know. But who? Lord Strongheart, perhaps? Oh! Incredible. How did he do it? Well, I must be leaving now. Yes, understood. See you later, Mr. Sholmes. Ha! You really are a shameless liar sometimes, my dear fellow. What? 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 Oh, Renosuke. You seek to put me off my guard and follow me, don't you? Well, you would be wasting your time. The thought hadn't crossed my mind, but now I'm wondering where you're going. Well then, see you later indeed. Okay. Bye. Listen to him. He's still laughing on his way out the door. Oh! Oh! Her outfit's so cute!
Alright, Runo. Alright then, Runo. Let's get going.
Oh, Iris, what are you wearing?
I've got change to go to the Great Exhibition. You're going to take me.
What? But I was just about to go to the Supreme Court.
Oh, well that sounds fun too. You're going to take me there then.
Don't point your gun at me. Alright, fine. Just lower that weapon, would you? Investigating with Iris! Yay! I love Iris as a companion. She's so fun.
Of course. And after the Supreme Court, then we'll go to see the Great Exhibition.
Okay. Cool. Alright. Let's look around. Is there anything fun to look at? Ah yes, Mr. Sholmes' faithful musical companion. Wasn't this violin made by somebody favorite? We do have to learn, if we can, whether Iris is Team Shuffle or Team Spade. You're so right. We'll have to take her there.
Yes, it's a Stradivarius. I'm afraid you'd have to save up for 100 years before you could afford one, Runo.
Okay. If I were to save up for 100 years, I wouldn't choose to buy a violin, personally.
Oh? What would you buy then?
I really have no idea. I think I'll have to do it so I can find out. Every time I look at that machine, I can't help thinking what a monstrosity it is. What's it called again?
The Great Analytoscope. It can analyze absolutely anything, you know.
It does seem incredible, and at the same time incredibly useless.
But it looks impressive, doesn't it? So that makes it very useful.
How does that make it useful?
Because it means you can pawn it for lots of money. The pawnbrokers always make idle remarks like, "What an incredible looking machine."
Huh.
so Hurley often takes her to the pawn shop when he's a little short.
I made it to a point upon identifying stepletters and spades to see which team every one of my companions are. It's very important. It's more important than solving any other mysteries. Sounds like this thing pulls its weight around here more than I realize by having its weight pulled around. Okay. Over here. She usually has something to say about this. Oh yes, this is where you note down ideas, isn't it, Iris? What's in the melting pot today? The blue carbuncle? Oh, I think we did this one.
Yes, it's from a case of theft that Hurley solved ages ago. The theft of a precious stone.
Yeah, we've seen this conversation already.
A carbuncle is another name for a garnet, you see, especially if it's cut with a rounded top.
Oh, really? And this garnet was blue, was it?
Well, that's the thing. They're usually red. No blue garnets have ever been discovered.
Oh.
So who knows what the stolen gemstone actually was? That's the real mystery of the case.
Proper Herlock Sholmes conundrum, huh? And we'll look at this, and then we'll go see if she has anything to say about the shovel and spade.
I can type with my eyes shut, you know.
I can believe it. When a deadline's approaching, you sound like a Gatling gun.
That reminds me of a dream I had the other day. It was such a funny one, it woke me, actually. I was typing for a whole hour in the pitch black, but I didn't make a single mistake.
That's incredible.
But then, when it got light, I found that there wasn't any paper in the machine.
Okay, we saw this too. This is all the same as what we examined before.
Now I wonder if I'd actually been typing at all.
I think you might just have fallen asleep on the job. Alright. A new location's been added. We'll go there in a second. Hold on. Hold on, game. We need to see which team Iris is on. 22nd October, Naruhodo's legal consultancy. Alright, Iris. Which is it? The office spade. Now that Mrs. Otto's gone, the shovelers aren't represented to correct me. Maybe I'll have to do it myself. That's not a spade, Mr. Naruhodo. It's a shovel.
Ah, so you're a spader, are you, Bruno? What? You want to battle it out?
Alright, I'm not gonna argue with a native English speaker who has some kind of gun. Beautiful. Alright, let's go see. The office of Lord Chief Justice Strongheart in Britain's great capital city, London. Its grand stone architecture and the echoey tick of the vast cogwheels lend it an air of authority.
You know, I think a visit to this place could be a good idea.
I think so too, Iris. Had to send you to that dialogue. It was amazing. 22nd October, British Supreme Court, Lord Chief Justice's office. It's been about 6 months now since I was last here. But some things never change, like the sense of foreboding I always seem to feel in this place. Aww. Oh, she's so cute. It doesn't seem to be bothering Iris at all, though. She's happily reading over there. Oh, in her little outfit.
Oh, I love this place. I always find so many interesting books here.
Of course, I was forgetting that you've been here before. The time we came here 6 months ago. Flashback. When Suzato-san was given the news that she was to return to Japan. I understand you wish to speak with me. Oh, Lord Strongheart. I trust you've been keeping well? Let's see. Since you arrived and requested an audience, it's been 4 hours, 32 minutes, and 26 seconds. I've kept you waiting a while. My apologies, that's a long time. Oh no, not at all. I like nothing more than standing around staring into space. Ranosuke. Good to know. Good to know that doesn't appear to bother him at all. Foreboding. Male Strongheart, Lord Chief Justice of London. He's the man who allowed me to start practicing as a defense lawyer when I arrived in Britain as a student. You need only savor the air for a moment in this grand office to understand his preeminent status. As you will be aware, the Great Exhibition of London is now underway at last. We're extremely busy as a result, policing the grounds, guarding the new technologies, dealing with petty crime. And furthermore, as of next month, we shall open the International Forensic Science Symposium. Oh, I've not heard about that. Investigating authorities from 40 countries around the globe will be taking part, including from your own land. Forensic science is the future. The world must embrace it. Emma Sky! As we're the hosting nation, I have much to do, and it is my highest priority. If others must wait for my attention as a result, so be it. Well, it's nice to know where I stand. So, you wish to consult with me? Of course, I can very well imagine what this is about. Thank you for agreeing to this meeting, my lord. I want to be allowed to start working as a defense lawyer again in court. That's what brought me here today. But actually, there's something else playing on my mind as it happens.
Bruno, just take a deep breath and come out with it.
Permission to work.
Pretty please, can I be a lawyer again?
I actually came here today to ask for your permission. Go on. 6 months ago, my right to work in court as a lawyer was revoked, and I was told to spend my time studying. Obviously, I'm very sorry for what happened, but the thing is, and he's ignoring me and checking his clock. It made me understand what it really means to defend somebody under the rules of a foreign justice system. And I desperately want to have another go. Please, permit me to enter the courtroom again. Mr. Naruhodo. Yes? Ugh, here it comes. I'm sure you haven't forgotten your position here, have you? At best, you are a substitute for your compatriot. This was never your intended role. Oh. Yeah, but he's dead, so... Well, that's true. The Japanese government actually sent my best friend on this study tour, not me. It should have been Kazuma. Oh, he was so determined. No! Ugh, every time Ryunosuke gets... Oh, so sad. Every time Ryunosuke gets sad about Kazuma, it makes me sad. Strongheart, unfortunately, is in the same game as Barak Van Zeeks and Herlock Sholmes. In most other games, he'd be one of the highlight animation guys. Also Shamspear, obviously. Of course. Of course. He was so determined to bring change to our own justice system at home. That was his calling. Don't... If that tragic accident hadn't happened, I wouldn't be here in this office now. Mr. Asogi was my best friend, you see. That's why I can't leave it unfinished. I have to fulfill his calling for him. His calling, you say. Has it never occurred to you that perhaps you know nothing of his true calling? Yeah, I don't. Everyone's really cryptic about it all the time. Sorry? The mission with which that young law student was charged. What do you suppose it really was? Who knows? What do you mean? Mission? He's not making any sense. Who knows? His name was on the disc, music disc thing. Never mind. No! Tell me! I've read all the reports you've submitted over the past 6 months. It's clear to me that you regret your actions and have been studiously obeying your revised instructions. Do you mean... As of this moment, I reinstate your license to practice law here in Great Britain. Thank you. Thank you so much. I love that animation. It's very cool.
That's wonderful news, Bruno.
In fact, I believe I have the perfect case to mark your comeback. A curious affair. Is it the guy that exploded? You'll consider it, I hope. Of course. Please tell me more. You described it as a curious affair. Yes, that's right. I believe it was reported in the press. Are you aware that there was a serious accident at the Great Exhibition yesterday? Oh, no.
Yes, I read about it. A professor from Germany tried to carry out a crazy experiment. Let me see. How was it described? Super high voltage instantaneous kinesis, I think.
Instantaneous kinesis? As in moving things with the click of a fingers?
That's right. It's just what my herbal blends need. A dash of devil-may-care.
Whatever this serious accident was exactly, it's clearly captured Iris's imagination. It's an unfortunate business. A large explosion engulfed with a public experimentation stage, and a man lost his life. A certain Mr. Odie Asman, an investor and a well-known figure in society. A large explosion? There are so many cases in the original games that would have been way easier to solve if we knew teleportation was possible. For real.
A man died?
The man responsible for the experiment was Professor Albert Harebrain. Nice. Very good. He was detained immediately after the incident and is due to appear in court tomorrow. On the charge of murder. What? Murder? If you intend to take on his defense, you should hurry to meet with him at the prison. Also gotta love the pun names. Odie Asman was a real charitable fellow, don't you think? Quite so. If you intend to take on his defense, you should hurry to meet with him at the prison. There is very little time left for you to carry out any kind of investigation. The Great Exhibition, a scientific experiment gone wrong, and murder? I feel out of my depth before I've even started. Still.
We should go to the prison straight away then, and try to meet with this German professor. Don't you think?
I say that and then Strongheart comes out with hairbrain. Definitely. Ah, yes. One more thing about the case. There's a connection with our mutual acquaintance, the Reaper. Oh, with Lord Van Zieks? How? Oh. Well, that didn't unlock new dialogue yet. All sorts of conferences have been taking place around the world that coincide with the Great Exhibition. And next month, the largest and most important of them all will take place at last. The International Forensic Science Symposium. It does seem as though criminal investigation needs to embrace scientific methods, doesn't it? At least we know that Harebrain isn't a learned Nepalese, so it's not necessarily a negative connection. Exactly. London, the global epicenter of culture, science, and wealth, now has a population exceeding 6 million. Sadly, crime in the capital is growing at a similarly startling rate. So it's imperative that we use the latest scientific methods to investigate and resolve cases as efficiently as possible. Which is what's known as forensic science, isn't it? Exactly. The future of policing. Regrettably, however, Britain is currently dragging its feet when it comes to the adoption of forensic methods. Oh dear, that's alarming. Exactly. It's extremely alarming. Where are all these birds coming from? If I were Her Majesty's Attorney General, you can be sure the numbers of crimes committed and resolved in London would be very different to the current figures. I remember when I was talking about the game with a friend, she was describing the setting as slightly less racist than reality Britain. Oof. And I can cite 12 solid arguments and 223 individual reasons that support my claim. Sorry? By way of apology for keeping you waiting earlier, I shall detail everyone now. Go ahead. I'm listening. I got my notepad. What?
Oh, how fascinating.
It all began 15 years ago. I was... Oh, he's actually talking. I was like, why is this... Iris also has her own notepad. We are one and the same. Oh my god, he's still going. I actually wanted to hear this. I was like, why is his mouth animation so going if he's just doing ellipses? I didn't realize he was talking. And that more or less sums up my feelings on the matter. In the simplest terms, of course. Lord Strongheart, I think I, like, saw the afterlife. Essentially, to formally establish a forensic investigation division within Scotland Yard. That is my mission. Oh, right, yes, that's wonderful. Yeah, very cool. Strongheart is utterly delightful. Exactly. Wonderful is precisely what it will be. Oh, Iris, you were supposed to be taking notes. Iris isn't paying attention at all. She's got her nose in another book now.
Oh, is it over? Did you learn anything useful?
Yeah, so much. I actually drifted off for the most part. He's surprisingly ardent about forensic science. Alright, I think we have to show him the... He mentioned Van Zieks, so... Oh, that reminds me. Have you seen this? The reports of the overwhelming success of the Great Exhibition, of course. No, not that. The story on the back page. What story? I'm standing right here. Oh my gosh, I can finally read it. Okay. London's top prosecutor, Barack Van Zieks' life came under threat yet again as a group of heavily armed assailants brandishing large knives and pistols ambushed him last night. The sight of the Reaper, the Bailey, and his companion valiantly keeping the mob of blackguards at bay was captured by this reporter, who then rushed straight away to the police to report this most heinous of crimes. As host of the Great Exhibition, the City of London can ill afford to have such brutal acts of violence occurring in its streets, and the Lord Chief Justice's office is sure to have a response to this latest incident. As to Lord Van Zieks and his condition, all will be revealed in tomorrow's morning edition. So there's Van Zieks on the right, and then mysterious person in a mask and like a sword cloak thing. Very cool looking. The Reaper attacked. Ah, that. You've enjoyed some victories in court against my #1 prosecutor, have you not?
Poor Mr. Reaper. What happened to him? He wasn't killed, was he?
Imagine. There's no need for concern. Lord Van Zieks would not be so easily dispatched, I assure you. Can you tell us what happened? I'd really love to know. Very well. If it interests you. It does, strangely. Right. Fortunately, Lord Van Zieks emerged from the attack unscathed. Street ruffians are no match for that man. He's a very capable fighter. That's awesome. But that's incredible. They were armed with guns. Why was he attacked, though? Do we know? You're an idiot. It's related to events that occurred a month ago. A leader of one of the capital's criminal organizations was indicted and prosecuted by Van Zieks. But the man was acquitted. I've no doubt large sums of money were involved behind the scenes. Large sums of money? A deplorable situation. Members of the jury were bribed, it seems. However, despite winning his freedom, the man in question met a dramatic end yesterday. But you're not suggesting that was the work of the Reaper, surely? The victim's henchmen certainly seemed to think so. He was a man by the name of Osmond. Mr. Odie Osmond. Did you say Osmond?
That's the man who died in the big explosion at the Great Exhibition.
Yes, known publicly as an investor, but in reality, the head of a significant criminal organization. Interesting. Unbelievable. I wonder, could I ask you something, Lord Strongheart? Try me. Why do you use Lord Van Zieks as a prosecutor? We have no other prosecutors here in London. He's the only one available. All the criminals who manage to get off in court then meet with mysterious ends outside the courtroom. And fearful of that fate, they seek to strike at Lord Van Zieks first. I know there's no evidence that he actually is the Reaper in that sense, but still. Something's clearly going on here. I have Van Zieks work for the prosecution service for 2 reasons. Firstly, the man is the best prosecutor in the capital, bar none. And secondly, any deaths of criminals that have occurred outside the courtroom following his trials are nothing to do with him. Now, do I think he's causing these deaths? No. Do I think it has nothing to do with him? Absolutely not. It absolutely has something to do with him. I don't think, maybe he's not personally involved, but they're clearly connected to him in some way. But that doesn't make sense. How can you explain the way so many have died if not by someone's hand? Van Zieks may have earned himself the moniker of the Reaper, but he is no killer. I don't think he's a killer, but there's some connection, okay? He's a cabal of fangirls who kill anyone who stains his perfect record. So he will continue to prosecute on behalf of the crown. Unless he wishes otherwise, of course. Ooh, the ambiance is so spooky. Well, I must be leaving for my next engagement. Congratulations! I'm already 11 hours and 16 minutes late. My colleagues may be starting to fidget. 11 hours late? That's quite something. That meeting had already started when I arrived back here for this engagement with you. We're engaged? This is news to me. So lateness was inevitable. Time stops for no man. I'm sure it stopped for me during those 12 solid arguments and 223 reasons. Oh yes, where would I find Lord Zieks now? I would assume he's at his office. Right. I'll go and ask him about the attack in person. I want to get this straight from the horse's mouth. Away with you now. I'm leaving Professor Harebrain's defense entirely in your hands. Of course, yes. Thank you very much, my lord. We got prison and prosecutor's office. Ooh, the prosecutor's office. This is where your client is, isn't it? Let's find out what the story is. The private office of Lord Barak von Zieks within the prosecutor's office building. For clarity, I keep any knowledge I have of future events far away from I do, so take nothing I say as confirmation or denial of anything. Of course, of course. And I appreciate it very much. Alright, let's go to the prosecutor's office since there's a big exclamation point on it. 22nd October, prosecutor's office. Okay, I just need to step away just for 30 seconds. Be right back. There. Right back. I just had to go get a drink. Alright, prosecutor's office. Oh, wow, look at this. Fancy.
Oh, so this is the legendary Reaper's office.
Yes, it appears so.
It sends a chill down your spine, doesn't it? What an amazingly deathly atmosphere.
Oh, is that... My hooded figure was so still I hadn't noticed his or her presence. Wonder who it is. Oh, that's the person from the newspaper. Look at all those hallowed chalices. I'm gonna guess. I don't know. Generic British voice until we learn. What are you doing here? Ah! Oh, it's Van Zeeks! Hi! Oh, wow. This is our first time seeing you head on. No, it's not. We've seen him head on. First time in a while seeing you head on. He's as unwelcoming as I thought he'd be. Actually, maybe even more so. Oh, I'm glad to see you're well. Van Zeeks! I am. Okay, cool, good talk. So, who's the person over by the wall being punished for something or other? you just keep people in the corner? Van Zeeks? No punishment is taking place here. Oh, okay. Oh! That's my apprentice, and he's sitting there of his own free will. Of course, yeah. Me too. I didn't know you had an apprentice. That's cool. That's new. That's some cool lore. It must be the same person who was pictured in the newspaper. Yeah. Fancy. He's very able in combat. A requisite skill for anyone under my tutelage. Are you referring to the attack on the Reaper that was reported in the papers? The Reaper? Oh! I'd be interested to know the Reaper's true identity myself. Assuming, that is, such a fabled fiend genuinely inhabits our great courtrooms. Hey! So what's going on, buddy? I heard you got attacked. Lord Strongheart said the assault last night was some sort of revenge attack. True. Carried out by the henchmen of Odie Osmond's criminal organization. The investigation meant their arrests were imminent. Presumably some hoped to kill me before that happened. Odie Osmond. He's always masqueraded as one of London's most powerful financiers, a global investor. But his enormous wealth came to him by underhand means, via his criminal activities.
And he used that money to buy himself a verdict of not guilty when he found himself in court, didn't he? Being prosecuted by you, Mr. Reaper.
But the man got his comeuppance in the end. Yesterday, in fact, in extraordinary circumstances. It was a most unusual cause of death. I know about that. It was a super high voltage instantaneous kinesis gone wrong. Those are big words. Mr. Osmond died when the demonstration on the public experimentation stage ended in an enormous explosion. Correct. And you think I have some kind of divine ability to cause an accident like that to happen, do you? You could. Sure, like... Well, no, that does seem a little far-fetched. If this man really is the fabled Reaper, then he has to be innocent of this particular death, at least.
It's strange how this has worked out, isn't it, Runo? I mean, what with you taking on the Professor's defense for the trial tomorrow?
What? You're going to be defending him? Oh. Yes, that's right. Though I barely know the man's name yet, to be honest. Albert. It's Albert. Get it right. Wow, he's on a first first name basis with him. Albert Hairbrain. That's right. Do you know him by any chance, Mr. Reaper? Of course. He's a contemporary of mine. We were at university together. Oh. You're... What? I understood that Professor Hairbrain was from Germany, though. Hairbrain's from a respectable British family. After graduating from the University of London, he moved to Germany to carry out research. That's all. As people do. So you were students together. I was in the Faculty of Law, of course, and he in Science, so our paths rarely crossed. But curiously, we got along. Aw, cute. Though I've not met him since my university days. Aw, cute! I certainly didn't expect our next encounter to take this form. And with you, of all people, representing him. Oh. Ah. Only if I make it out of this office alive. He's actually been charged with murder, it seems. Yes, I know. Because the prosecution will be handled by me. But he's your contemporary from university. By you? But you made it sound as if you and the professor had been friends. We are friends. It's true. Aw. Not we were friends. We are friends. Then why would you do this? He's just doing his job. Apparently he's the only prosecutor in London.
If the Reaper is the prosecutor, there's nothing anyone can do to save him. He's doomed.
Yeah, Van Zieks, you want your friend to die? What's Lord Van Zieks thinking? The Reaper's identity. What do you mean by what you said before? If you'd like to know the Reaper's true identity, does that mean I'm a crown prosecutor and a mortal like any other? I'm no demigod. That's up for debate.
But they've all died, haven't they? The people you've prosecuted, I mean. Whether or not the trial ended in a conviction or an acquittal.
Those I prosecute are the vilest wretches of our society. Then why are you prosecuting your friend? People who, without question, deserve to be found guilty. The world is a better place without them. But that's not true of Mr. Natsume, for example. He wasn't a vile wretch at all.
Nor was Ginny. In fact, she's ever so hardworking now.
I can't deny that since I encountered you, things have taken a turn. But the point is this. If any of those vile wretches that escaped justice subsequently died in mysterious circumstances, Natsume was a Nipponese. It was at the hand of their own kind. It's not my work. Lord Strongheart said the same. He believes you're not involved in any way.
But you were attacked by those ruffians because they believe it's true.
The fact is, since people started to call me the Reaper of the Bailey, the number of serious crimes in the capital has dropped substantially. That's fair. Oh, that's good. It would appear that even the most hardened criminals can be made fearful for their lives. Do you mean to say... I mean to say that if my pseudonym serves a useful purpose, I adopt it gladly, and with honor. But it's putting you in danger. You could be killed. If that is my fate, let God decide. Damn. Aw. Lord Von Zieks. You make me sad. You make me sad, Mr. Reaper. Ugh. I think We've been presenting this to everyone. I assume he wants to see it too. Yeah. Lord Van Zeek's about the article in this paper. Yes. It seems there was a reporter nearby when that little skirmish took place. I had no idea I'd been photographed. It was careless of me.
It looks as though it was taken after the people who attacked you had run away, though.
Rest assured, the police have already apprehended every last one of them. But there's someone else fighting alongside you, it seems. Is it the guy you keep in the corner? That guy over there? And I think it's the same man who's sitting over there as we speak, isn't it? As I mentioned already, he's my apprentice. Perhaps you could tell us a little more about him? No. Fine, but you have to click the actual dialogue. He's in my tutelage to become a prosecutor. Oh, nice. So you could say he's my apprentice, I suppose.
Ah, like you are to Hurley then, Bruno.
I don't remember taking an apprenticeship with the great detective. Mysterious man! He's currently compiling a report about last night's attack. It looks like he's just sitting there, actually, not doing anything. It looks like he's not doing crap. He's got, like, his fists balled on the table. Looks like he's wearing some kind of mask. On Lord Strongheart's orders, why? Nobody knows the man's face, or indeed his identity. Why would you agree to take on such a clearly suspicious individual? Lord Strongheart's orders again. He's not one for meaningless follies. There'll be good reason for his actions. I hope you're right. Oh. Oh! Hi! Hi, apprentice. You're scary. You are very scary. The task is complete. Good. In that case, you can collate all the briefs. Nice to meet you. Uh-huh. Oh. Okay. Bye. Back to work again. That was really strange, though. I've never met the man before. I didn't even know he existed, and yet somehow it didn't feel like our first encounter. Oh? That's weird. Don't bother trying to converse with him. He says nothing to anybody from outside this office. Why? What? Lord Strongheart has strictly forbidden it. He stops him from talking? He's not gonna be a very good prosecutor. Oh, I see. Why are you so interested in my apprentice anyway? Oh, no, I mean, sorry, I didn't mean to. He's just so mysterious and cool and suave and sexy. The way he stood there so casually, yet with that flawless posture. It couldn't be. Huh. Oh yes, there's something I've been meaning to ask you. Oh, what's that? That Japanese man. Is he faring well? Oh, do you care? Sorry? The one arrested twice in succession 6 months ago, with the stoop and the mustache and the jitters. Mr. Natsume, you mean?
I'm not sure he'd be very pleased to find out you identified him from that
List Bruno. It was a good list. He's fine, thank you. In fact, I received a letter from him by international post only the other day. I see. Well, I think we can end our discussion there, don't you? Okay. It was nice talking with you. There's little time left before tomorrow's trial. I advise you to spend it investigating the case. Yes, thank you for the advice and for the conversation. It was nice to talk to you like a human being without you being very mean to me. I can't believe he's asking after Sasuke-san. After a Nibonese. I'm not sure whether to feel happy about that or worried.
I never imagined that Mr. Reaper would be friends with a mad scientist, did you? That's a turn up for the books.
Mad scientist? You mean Professor Harebrain? Yes, it might be worth quizzing the professor about his relationship with Lord Von Zieks, I think. Oh! His theme suddenly playing is so scary. Alright, let's look around. Look at that fine collection of hallowed chalices and bottles neatly lined up there. My hallowed bottles are filled with the essence of the finest grapes from the finest vineyards I visit, and I still throw them in the gallery. And I personally oversee these chalices being made by the finest crystal craftsmen in the world.
And yet you throw them around in court like they were worthless.
Iris, me and you. Yes, because this imbecile is so unimaginably and repeatedly wide off the mark sometimes. Oh. Before you open your mouth next time, you should consider the poor artisans whose work you defile. That's good. You know what? This is good. That was a good line. You got me. So it's my fault. Silly me. How could I ever have thought otherwise? I love how sarcastic Ryunosuke is at all times. Ah, chess. Lord Von Zieks' desk. Look, it's so stylish.
And that's a marble chess set beside it.
Chess. That's the Western version of our Japanese shogi game, isn't it? You know, I'm actually quite good at shogi problems.
Oh, really? You'd probably like chess problems in that case.
I'd love to challenge Lord Von Zieks sometime. To a bout of shogi problems.
If you only really want to challenge yourself, you can always do that on your own at home. Oh, look! It's a scaled model of the Great Exhibition's showground.
Cute. That's amazing. I wonder why it's here.
Perhaps he made it to take his mind off the sadness of being too busy to attend in person.
Or perhaps he's too embarrassed to queue up for a ticket. Oh, surely it's obvious that I'm using it as an investigative aid. He heard our thoughts. You Nipponese have no business painting others as overly reserved. Ugh, I really didn't think he'd overhear that. I'm standing right beside you. Beautiful portrait. That portrait really dominates the room, doesn't it? Ooh, okay. It's a very majestic outfit and pose, but sadly, whoever painted it didn't do a very good job of capturing Lord Von Zieks' facial features.
Yes, you're right. I mean, it's not far off, but the artist has exaggerated his subject's handsomeness, I think.
Yes, they made him hot, actually. Very inaccurate. That reminds me. I heard Emperor Napoleon of France ordered artists to make him look more attractive when they painted him.
How vain. That's really not an attractive quality in a person, is it?
Van Zieks is just sitting there going, God. That portrait does not depict me. Surely that's immediately obvious. Is it? Is it immediately obvious? Why do you have a picture of a different man and... Oh, then who is it? Okay. Cool. Good talk. I'm going to... It really looks like a punishment to me.
I've never seen someone sitting like that before.
He hasn't moved a muscle since we arrived. Yeah, he's not doing his work. Do you think perhaps he's dead? Ryunosuke.
If he was dead, Bruno, he wouldn't be sitting up, would he?
Well, anyway, dead or alive, he's not overly approachable, is he? I don't think he's gonna talk to us.
He's not dead.
flying. I didn't... Oh my god. Oh, they were bats? He's Batman.
Yes, the Reaper's familiars, I expect.
What about the mute man in the dark cloak? I thought he was the familiar. Just not the flying kind.
He must be a dear friend of Mr. Reaper, then.
I think the familiar idea is more likely. Scary, though, either way. Oh, now the bats are gone. Alright. I assume to the prison? Hey, buddy! 22nd October, local prison, cell 11. And the warden said cell 11. That's this one.
Oh! There's someone curled up in a bowl in the back corner. Look.
What's his name again? Professor Albert Hairbrain, was it? Excuse me, Professor Hairbrain. Hi. Who are you? I'm Ranosuke Naruhodo. I'm a defense lawyer. A lawyer? Was it something I said? A lawyer, you say? Would you be here?
About the experiment? Are you going to defend my hypothesis?
Your hypothesis? Sorry, I don't...
Yesterday's demonstration! That demonstration was, that magnificent demonstration was. It was an out-and-out success by anyone's calculations. But despite that... Oh! Hey, Layumi! Thank you for the raid! Hello, raiders! Welcome on in! What were you up to? What were you playing? Hello!
But despite that...
No one listens, no lawyer believes in the science. When it's explained, they all leave at high velocity.
Hello! Hope you're doing well. Welcome on in. I was playing Hollow Knight. Nice! I love Hollow Knight. Oh, ads. Damn ads. Bad timing. Well, thank you for the raid, even though I know you're in an ad right now. That was probably not a good time to mention that your zeal made my concentration leave for a while, too. Let me... stream that. Okay. You mentioned the demonstration yesterday. Well, thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate it so much.
The papers have called it a spectacular failure. After all, a man died, didn't he?
Do I have the... There we go. I do have the shout out command. Thank you again, Layumi, for the raid. Take care of yourself if you have to... Take care of yourself if you have to raid and dash. But thank you so much. I appreciate it so much. Of course, of course.
Yes, you could interpret the results that way if you really wanted to. Well, I suppose in the strictest sense, the experiment was a failure, but at the same time, it was a great success.
You've lost me.
I saw it with my own eyes, right there in front of me. Mr. Asman was spontaneously disassembled.
Oh, ew. I can keep lurking a bit. Yay! I'm happy to have you here.
Until then, everything was going exactly as my calculations had predicted. At that point, he should have been beamed to the Crystal Tower by instantaneous kinesis.
However, the machine exploded and Mr. Asman in fact perished.
Yes, I can't deny that part of the experiment was a failure.
So what you're really saying is the large explosion that killed Mr. Asman was an accident, correct?
But the bigwig said had you arrested on suspicion of murder.
Ooh, we got serious.
I was responsible for a man's death. That is the immutable truth here. And
For that, I wish to be punished. At once. Oh, okay. But... Murder! Never in a million years! It was an accident. Simply an accident. I see.
Hurley and I were talking this morning, you know. He said the situation would change completely depending on whether it was treated as an accident or murder.
How exactly?
Well, if it really was an accident, then the professor's machine would be kept in protective custody.
On what grounds? Oh yes, it's newly established here in Britain. The Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act. That one passed me by.
But if the case is treated as murder,
Then, oh. Wait, who said that line? Okay, it was Iris. And then they'll say my machine was the murder weapon and they'll be able to pour over it as much as they like. If they examine it in detail, they'll find out how it's made and then they'll be able to copy my idea. My precious hypothesis will be stolen. The machine must be protected from that at all costs. That's why it's imperative this whole incident is shown to have been an accident in tomorrow's trial. I see now. I wonder if it really was an accident. I wonder if it was actually murder, but it wasn't you who did it. That's my theory. My own hypothesis. So in short, there was a terrible accident at the Great Exhibition Showground yesterday. Yes! Or rather, no. The devil is in the details. Strictly speaking, there was a terrible explosion. Sounds the same to me.
you were demonstrating super high voltage instantaneous kinesis, were you? How fascinating.
Humans, like all matter, are made up of particles that are held together by electrical bonds. So it must be possible using a sufficiently high voltage to break those bonds and beam the particles through space. That's it in a nutshell. That's my idea, you see. That's my amazing hypothesis. Gosh, that's unimaginably high-level science. The little dance. Oh, but dare to imagine it! Dare to dream of such incredible technology! Just think, one moment I could be here in the cell, and the next I could be at the Great Exhibition again. Well, yes, that would be incredible. And the next, in the mere blink of an eye, I could be at a great Parisian theatre, I say. Parisian play, something. The possibilities are endless. The whole of our vast planet would be within reach. So no more hiding in wardrobes and rocky seas for 50 days.
I don't really see it like that.
What do you mean, Iris?
Well, if you could travel anywhere in the world instantly, the planet wouldn't really seem vast anymore, would it? I think it would feel like it had shrunk.
My word, that's exactly right. What are the implications? What does this mean?
Oops, that's got Professor Bunnybrain really worried by the look of it.
Clearly this is yet another case of just because you can doesn't mean you should, I suppose. The point is, my calculations are flawless. The science works. But without a practical demonstration, it means nothing. And that's always the fly in the ointment.
Because practical demonstrations cost a lot of money. Money that young scientists like you don't have.
That's exactly it, yes.
Hurley's always complaining about it. He says the government should invest more in science.
Well, anyway, I bumped into him at this right time. I met the well-known investor, Mr. Asman. The victim who died in yesterday's terrible accident, you mean? The guy you murdered. The Reaper's varsity years. I heard you were chill friends with the Grim Reaper, my friend. I understand Lord Van Zeeks is a friend of yours from your university days. Yes, that's right. He was studying law whilst I was studying science. What was he like back then? Was he cool and awesome? Good question. Unassuming, gentlemanly, an all-around nice fellow, really. Aw, cute. Sorry, I think you misheard me. I'm talking about the cold-hearted, merciless prosecutor, Barak Von Zeeks. What was he like when he was at university?
Talk about a leading question, Runo.
As I said, an unassuming and extremely pleasant gentleman. After all, he is the little darling of the Van Zieks family, with all its great aristocratic origins.
Oh, I didn't realize he had quite such noble blood.
Makes sense. Little darling? It was a bit of a shock when I came back to Britain and learned what he'd become. The Reaper of the Bailey, no less. Yes, that's right. I did hear, though, that there was a very big event in his life that completely changed him after graduation. His dad was shot in an elevator. It happens. It happens to prosecutors. They're the sweetest little darlings. And then their dad gets shot in an elevator and they just become demons. It happens. Really? What sort of event? DL6, they called it. I'm sorry. But I don't know anymore. I wasn't in the country at the time. I was in Germany already. Oh, yes, of course. If he's heard about the Reaper, I really don't have the heart to tell him that Lord Van Zieks will be the prosecutor in the court tomorrow. The full name of the man who died in yesterday's accident was Mr. Odie Osmond, wasn't it? What exactly was your relationship with the man? He first visited me in my laboratory in Germany a year ago now. He said he wanted to invest in my immaculate hypothesis. I thanked my lucky stars. I see, so you hadn't really known each other until then.
Money for scientific research. I'm so envious.
We have new people, so I want to read their bios. Male Strongheart, 53, the Lord Chief Justice who wields absolute authority in judicial matters, including the appointment of lawyers. He's a thoroughly intimidating man. Odie Osmond, a well-known financier who perished in the Great Explosion on the experimentation stage of the Great Exhibition. Seems he was also at the head of a large criminal organization. 47. Barak Van Zieks, 33, a prosecutor known as the Reaper of the Bailey. Supposedly the souls of those he prosecutes are eternally damned one way or another. Masked man! An apprentice of Lord Van Zieks whose face is always covered by a mask. He's the heir of a completely unassailable man. Albert Harebrain, 33, a scientist who invented a machine to demonstrate super high voltage instantaneous kinesis. He's the defendant of this case and a friend of Lord Van Zieks, apparently. As far as I was concerned, the man was an angel. Oh, really? An archangel, even. He was prepared to fund a practical demonstration of my hypothesis for presentation at the Great Exhibition. And if that went well, I could expect additional financial support for my research from the British government. Mr. Osmond provided me with money and an exceptional engineer. He produced the machine to my precise specifications.
But then your dream's blown to dust in one enormous explosion.
As you can see, I owed everything to Mr. Osmond. I would never, ever have thought of taking the man's life. Well, he seems genuine enough. I don't think he's lying. So, Professor, let me just make absolutely sure I've understood you properly. The huge explosion that occurred yesterday, that was an accident, you're saying? You had no intent to harm the victim, who was in fact the sole investor in your works. Is that correct? As correct as 2 squared is 4, I swear it. Yes, it's true that the man perished in a machine of my invention. So I know that I'm far from blameless in all this, but still, I would never use my discoveries, my inventions, to take a person's life, not in a centillion years. I'm a man of science, it's all I know. You have to believe me, please. Do you believe me? Do you believe in my hypothesis? Aw, it's so sad. Science is the pursuit of truth, you know. I've always believed that all my life. I'm afraid I don't know much about science or your theories. But I do believe you, and I'll fight to prove your innocence with all my might. I'm a man of the law. That's all I know. You have to believe me, please. Cute. You're mocking me.
When I went to live in Germany after I graduated, I learned something very important. Nationality, class, lineage, none of that matters. As long as you try your hardest, you can achieve anything.
Aww. Thank you for that, Professor.
And thank you in advance for defending me tomorrow in court. Alright, Runo. It's time. Time to visit the Great Exhibition.
Yay! New place unlocked? Sorry?
Well, that's where the incident happened, isn't it?
Yes, I suppose that's true. Time to investigate it last. Poor Professor Bunnybrain, but don't worry, we'll come to your rescue. Aw. The experimentation stage at the Great Exhibition and the scene of the crime. Crystal Tower. Exhibition. 22nd October, the Great Exhibition grounds, foot of the Crystal Tower. Ugh. The showgrounds are a little too big for my liking. We've been walking around in dense crowds for 2 hours now, and I felt myself swooning 3 times.
There are a lot of people, aren't there? I've almost been trodden on 3 times too.
Be careful, won't you, Iris? Don't let go of my hand. Oh, they're walking around. Oh, cuties. We finally made it through the throngs, though, by the look of it. Here we are, underneath the public experimentation stage where the explosion happened yesterday. Oh. What's that? I can hear voices from up on the stage. Sounds like an argument. Gina! Right, I've had it with you this time. I'm warning you, I'll arrest you in a minute.
Oh yeah? Go on then, Spectre, give it a shot. You ain't got no evidence and you know it.
Wait, I know those voices. You got a cheeky little mouth on you, young lady, but not in the cells will teach you some manners.
I just try it, I dare ya. If you want a bag of chips rammed down your throat. Yoo-hoo! Grexy, what you doing up there?
He fell. Oh. Oh. It's you. Here. You're here. Here you are. You, here. Your ladyship. How are you, your ladyship? I do hope you're well, your ladyship. Does that make her 3 times a lady?
I'm not well at all. It's far too busy everywhere. I wanted to ride in a balloon, but there was a 3-hour queue.
Unbelievable. I'll go and have a word for you at once, your ladyship. You'll be flying as high as a kite in no time once I pull some strings for you. This is Inspector Gregson. Tobias Gregson, an inspector at Scotland Yard. He was in the last episode. Why are we doing this? Until recently, he was suspended from duty, but it would appear he's back in action now. He's actually quite well known, appearing as he does in the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. And for that reason, he can't say a word wrong to the story's author, Iris. But there are limits, surely. Or there should be. Watch it, sunshine. Sorry. What gives then? Don't tell me you're on this case. Yes, I'm acting for the defense.
So we're here to investigate.
Dear me, that's the situation, is it? Is it really that troubling?
Measly 5 bob, is that all you got?
Hello, Gina.
You're a lawyer, ain't ya? You could stand around and carry a bit more copper in your pockets, Mr. Naruto.
What? Hey, it's my last bit of spending money, that is.
You can have it back, but I'll have to charge you for all the bother. 3 bob.
This is Gina Lestrade, a pickpocket or diver born and bred in the East End of London. In the case that led to my own suspension 6 months ago. This is the young girl I was defending in court.
What's your problem, eh, Odo? Diver, pickpocket, what's with all the name calling?
I love the implications that the protagonist is always saying these descriptions out loud. Because everyone always has a reaction to it. I just think it's so funny. You just meet up with someone. You're like, oh, hey, buddy, how's it going? He's like, this is Gina Lestrade. She's like, just like, what? Gina's also delightful. She is.
Want a bag of chips rammed down your throat and all, do you?
I thought you were proud to be a diver, Gina. You were just arguing with Inspector Gregson about it, weren't you? I assumed you'd be up to your usual tricks here at the showground.
I ain't no way to talk to a lady, Otto. After years a long time, people can change. I'm an apprentice now, learning to be a Scotland Yard detective.
Aw, really? Cute.
So you have to call me what everyone else does. It's Inspector Lestrade now.
Hell yeah. Nice. Inspector? That badge is homemade, surely. Inspector part isn't entirely accurate. No one calls it that. For what it's worth, anyway. Investigating is off the cards for all of us.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, I'll be back up top. You're the fort down here, alright?
Right, sir.
This raises a lot of questions. Hi, Gina. You're a detective now? It was 8 months ago now that I first encountered Gina, in connection with the case I was working on. Random fun fact, shoot. At the time, she was living in the East End with a group of other orphans. She helped all of them survive by pickpocketing, but then she got embroiled in a murder.
I had a lot of time to think in prison. I realized I couldn't go on like I was. The diving weren't working out.
When Monk was originally made before the pilot, the assistant detective was Randy Deacon. So their names were Leyland Stottlemyre, Randy Deacon. Oh, Lestrade. Got it. Cute. I was like L-E. Lestrade. That's cute. That's fun.
I realized I couldn't go on like I was. The diving weren't working out. Oh, I'm so pleased to hear it, Ginny. Well done.
They figured that was too on the nose, so he's Randy Disher. Nice. So, you went from being a pickpocket to a detective?
You got it. Good, innit? Inspector Lestrade.
Sound like something out of a book, yeah? It sure does, Gina. It sure does sound like something out of a book. Talk about a sea change. And then there's Iris's old man to think about. Iris's father, you mean?
Yeah, I promised it, didn't I? I said get all the police forces around the world to pull out all the stops looking for him.
Aw. Just a small promise then, nothing serious.
Oh, Ginny, you're so sweet.
So anyway, that's how come I had to go at the test for Scotland Yard. Only trouble is I don't read so well, do I? Just a small problem. Nothing serious.
And that's when Haley approached Gregsy and asked for help. So the inspector said he'd take full responsibility for Ginny and made her a sort of apprentice.
That was a very magnanimous of Inspector Gregson. And brave.
Well, you know Haley. He enjoys finding ways to make people do what he wants.
The great detective likes digging for dirt, in other words.
So, long and short of it is, if you've got questions about the case, you can ask Inspector Lestrade.
Right then, Inspector. Actually, there's still a big mystery surrounding Gina, isn't there?
Oh, what, Reno, what?
Well, 6 months ago, Gina was the defendant in a trial prosecuted by the Reaper. A trial in which she was found not guilty, and yet here she is still.
Come on, you're still not on about Oh, you're not still on about that, are you? The Legend of the Reaper or whatever it's called. Cool, you don't have to worry, Otto.
If I didn't have to worry, there probably wouldn't be a whole lot of you left.
It's like I told you before, innit? The Reaper's kinda like him upstairs, so he knows what I'm like on the inside. That I ain't really done nothing wrong.
Nothing wrong might be stretching a point.
What about Mr. Natsume in Japan? He's perfectly fine, isn't he?
Well, that's true. Perhaps the Reaper is more discerning than I thought.
Exactly. So I'm worried. I'm totally fine.
Something Inspector Gregson said before seemed a little strange. For what it's worth, anyway. Investigating's off the cards for all of us.
Yes, not the old Gregsy ran off after that without explaining himself.
Right, that. The boss said no one's allowed to investigate that weird machine what blew up yesterday.
Well, that's not fair. We're representing the defendant.
In that case, could you at least tell us what you've learned from your investigations? Nah. You're not getting it. We're not allowed to investigate neither. Why?
What did the boss call him again?
The forensic investigation team, I think. Anyway, apart from them lot, no one's allowed to lay a finger on the scene. Bit funny, innit? So even Scotland Yard's own detectives can't investigate. Yes, I've never heard something like that before. I thought we could have a gander on the quiet though, but the boss caught me at it. You probably heard it. You probably heard him and given me an earful about it before from down here, didn't you? It's not bleeding fair. I think you were giving him as much as an earful back, as I remember it. Yeah, well, sometimes I think it's all them chips what make him so stubborn. You say something to him, Odo. Go on, see if you can get through to him. He's up on the platform above us, is he? Where the machine that exploded is?
We can try, can't we, Bruno? Gregsy will listen to us.
Cool. That's how this world it was. The brainy bloke pulled a bunch of levers on his machine and suddenly it started billowing smoke. Then it just went pop. I ain't seen a better experiment here yet. Sorry?
You mean, you saw it, Ginny? With your own eyes?
Yeah, of course. Boss is in charge here, ain't he? Of keeping everything running smooth, I mean. The boss being Inspector Gregson, I suppose. That's gonna take some getting used to. So all I have to say is that I'm on duty and I can do whatever I want to. Get this! I was up in one of them flying balloons when it happened, watching from above.
No, you're so lucky, Ginny. Maybe I should join Scotland Yard too.
Yeah, do it. You know what, I'll put the boss in his place already, right, Iris? You'd have no trouble at all.
Then it's settled. When do I start?
No, you can't join Scotland Yard, Iris.
We'll see. Anyway, what I don't understand is this. If the machine exploded so spectacularly, how can Professor Bunnybrain still be claiming that his experiment was a success?
True. Right. Well, it was a success in a way. Did the body actually get transported? It was? How can it happen? Surely after the whole machine blew up, no one could call the experiment a success. So like I said, it did sort of work. I mean, yeah, there was a load of smoke in that whooping great bang. But where'd you think they found the victim's body, eh? In the crystal tower over there. Mm-hmm. What? In the tower? Teleportation is real. You can see for yourself, can't you? Up there above the scaffold.
Oh, well, the glass is broken, you mean?
Yeah, the cage what the victim got in to start with really did get beamed through the air or whatever and landed all the way over there. So, you see, it did kind of work, didn't it? What? I don't believe it. I mean, I don't get the ins and outs of it, but anything's possible, right? With science? Well, I'll tell you what. You can have this. It's a plan of the experiment they drew up at the yard. Are you sure? Yeah, go on. I had 3 bob off here before, so fair's fair. Yes, I didn't actually give that to you, did I? A diagram showing the relative positions of the Crystal Tower and Professor Harebrain's machine that exploded. Okay, thanks, Gina. Always a pleasure. Okay. Well, let's look around. The Crystal Tower. It's certainly an apt name. It was built to be the focal point of the exhibition, and it definitely is, being so tall and with all that glass. I can't imagine a building like this ever being erected in Japan.
There are lots of exhibits inside the tower as well, apparently. Of course, there's an observation deck, but there's also an art gallery, a zoo, and a museum. But I heard you have to queue for 3 hours just to get to the doors.
Well, at the moment, the shattered glass from the failed experiment may well be the biggest draw.
Thanks to that accident, the whole tower is shut.
Suddenly it's not the Crystal Tower anymore, but the Crystal Glass Shower. Nice. Very good.
Apparently, everyone's taken to the skies now to look down on the disaster area from above instead. But there's a 3-hour queue to go up into a balloon now.
Londoners must be very patient people.
Oh, it looks as though somebody dropped something behind the tree just here.
Dropped or hid? Looks like a crossbow. What is this, some part of the machine that exploded?
Maybe. It could have fallen from the platform above in the blast, perhaps.
What's going on here? Oh, nothing. I think I'll hang on to this just in case. Yeah, disturbing a crime scene. A very curious device found behind a tree under the experimentation stage at the exhibition grounds, almost as if it's been hidden there deliberately. Okay, I got some, like, green something.
Oh, look, what's this? A ripped piece of cloth.
It's not like any fabric I've ever seen before. Very thick and stiff. It looks extremely durable.
It's canvas, I think, with some sort of rubber backing. And the edges appear to be a bit charred as well.
Maybe that means it had something to do with the explosion?
Let's make a note of it while Ginny's mid-yawn.
A torn piece of canvas-like material backed with a rubber that was found in the experimentation stage at the exhibition grounds. There are scorch marks at the edges. Okay. Good. For some reason, the ground is damaged in this spot. Look. Almost as if there was a fire here or something.
Yes, if you look closely, there's some scattered ash and burnt embers too.
Well, I suppose there's a big explosion just above here. People probably wouldn't bat an eyelid at a small fire like this would have been.
I'm not sure we English are quite that laid back, Runa.
Okay. Oops. I clicked the wrong area. That's why the cub ended up after his instant kinesis or whatever they call it. Dead, of course. And yet they're calling the experiment a success?
That's what the wooden scaffold there. What's the wooden scaffold there for?
The coppers or lads set that up after the incident happened. To get the body down, I think. Dunno really. Didn't you help to erect the scaffold then? Nah. Lookout duty's more my thing. Wandering around the exhibition and keeping a lookout for the fun stuff. Mind Gregson doesn't hear you say that, or he'll give you the boot. It's incredible though, isn't it? I mean, could the victim really have bridged that gap by some sort of invisible kinesis?
I don't think so.
That everything? These stairs obviously lead to the stage above. We should go up there and investigate the exact spot where the experiment was being conducted. Oh, okay. October 22nd, the Great Exhibition Grounds experimentation stage. So that's it, is it? The machine that blew up?
Oh, it must have been a magnificent explosion, and I've seen my fair share.
You've seen things like this before, you mean?
Of course, Hurley's always doing experiments that end in a bang. In fact, in his own words, explosions are the very essence of chemistry.
Oh, that might explain the smell of burning that frequently comes wafting up the stairs.
One time he made something that exploded with such force it took the roof off the building. I wish you'd been there to see it, Bruno.
It's hard to get too excited about that, given that I now live in the roof.
Well, anyway, that's enough about that. It's time to investigate.
Sure. Oh. Oh, look, Inspector Gregson is over there. He seems to be deep in thought about something, while eyeing up the machine carefully.
Really? He just looks confused to me.
Okay. It ripped itself apart magnificently, didn't it?
Magnificently and mercilessly.
Someone stands in the middle of the machine to be disassembled and then beamed through the air.
Yes, beamed. Not blasted, that's the point.
Yes, that part's crucial, really. Is something like that even possible, though, Iris?
Oh, Bruno, I'm just a child. How should I know?
Because you're the smartest person we know. A child when it suits you, you mean?
From what I can tell, I think if you would have pulled this...
Stop! Don't touch that.
That was practically instantaneous kinesis the way you flew over just now, Gregsy.
I love this theme. Please, your ladyship, oh, I didn't mean to startle you, but I can't let you touch anything up here.
So sorry, you can have some of my latest special blend to make up for it.
Wonderful. Stuff really is wonderful. It's just like old times, this is. We're representing Professor Harebrain in court tomorrow, Inspector. So we should be allowed to examine the scene. Listen, Sunshine. Even I'm not allowed to touch anything up here. It's that blasted Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act to blame. It's driving me potty. Oh yes, that Special Dispensation. Professor mentioned that too. More red tape's all we need. I want to know what the government thinks it's playing at sometimes.
But we're allowed to just look, aren't we? Surely that's alright, isn't it, Gregsy?
Of course, your ladyship. Anything you say, your ladyship, but please don't get your dainty heads dirty, will you?
Don't worry. We wouldn't dream of touching anything, would we, Bruno?
She really knows how to get what she wants. Using high voltage electricity to somehow disassemble a man's body and then beam him across to the Crystal Tower. It's an extraordinary thing to attempt, especially in public. True. It was by far the most unusual of the events planned for the exhibition, mind. To be honest, I'm a bit surprised it was allowed. Carrying out something so dangerous with so many spectators present, I mean. Government's doing everything it can to promote new science and technology at the moment. They're more worried about being ahead of the game than the old spot of public safety infringements. If they can be the first to develop some new technology, it makes Britain more powerful in the future, you see. Yes, I suppose that's true in a way. So the powers that be are placing heavy emphasis on scientists' rights at the moment.
What sort of rights? I don't think scientists should have rights.
Making it so that any theories the brains have that remain their legal property, as it were. Right through developing it into a practical idea and even going into production. Which is the infuriating reason us coppers aren't allowed to touch this crime scene. Because the new High Fallacy and Special Dispensation forced by Scientific Equipment Act forbids it.
I see now. Only people with permission to investigate here are from some brand new department at the yard. The forensic investigation team is called. We've been relegated to keep a guard. The forensic investigation team. Any old fool can see this heap of scrap metal was a sham to begin with. But just because it says scientific equipment on the paperwork, we can't do a flaming thing with it.
Poor Greg, see? He's very het up, isn't he?
Remind me again, what's this new legal act that means we're not allowed to touch the scene here? Oh, you having me at it, sunshine. It's the Special Dispensation for Special Scientific Equipment Act.
Yes. I think Hurley mentioned that recently. With a real twinkle in his eyes, I remember.
I'm sure he did, your ladyship. I'm sure he did. Passed especially for his great exhibition it was. All scientists have to do is present their ideas or inventions to some suits in the civil service. And if it gets rubber stamped, that's a guarantee of rights to maintain this invention's confidentiality. What does that really mean? Think about it. Think of all the world-changing new inventions on display every day at this exhibition. Although a good half of them are Lord of Cobblers, if you ask me, performed by shamans like yourself. Thanks for that.
Oh, I love how absurd some of the inventions here are. It's all so fun.
Might be fun to you, but a member of the force has to be present at every single demonstration. You imagine, eh? Hang science, that's what I say. Oh, okay.
Oh, I don't think so. That sounds like my dream job.
You didn't think otherwise after spending a day guarding all these shamans' bogus contraptions. If they're all bogus, how can anyone hope to demonstrate them? There'd be no point. Yeah, well, there is a point, sadly. Sorry? Thanks to another of our government's bright ideas. If any theory or invention is deemed to show potential, the government hands out a research grant.
Money.
Scientists get funding. Exactly. That's what they're all after. All these shamans coming from far and wide to clog up Hyde Park. Who wants to keep them all safe, eh? Who wants to smile politely and welcome them? Us coppers, that's who. So you can see what I say now, can't you? Hang science, hang it!
Oh, maybe I can see your point.
Apparently Professor Harebrand lives and works in Germany now, conducting his research. That's right. Came back to Britain especially for the Great Exhibition, as I understand it. Probably after one of the government's research grants. Actually, we learned something else about the professor earlier today. About his time in further education. It turns out he was at university with someone we both know. Lord Van Zeeks. What's that? That's news to me. But if Van Zeeks mounts the prosecution, then as the accused, the professor's fate is sealed. Because the Reaper will get him one way or another. Blimey. That man's beyond me. Oh no, what goes in his head of his? Talking of Van Zeeks, this morning's paper read the story of him being attacked. Read that?
Oh yes, but Mr. Reaper is completely fine. Nothing to worry about.
Yeah, right. Glad to hear it. Still the Reaper, huh? How long's that business gonna keep up, I wonder? The victim of this case, the investor, Mr. Asmund, he was another of the Reaper's victims, or so I heard. Well, Barak Van Zeeks is a top-class prosecutor, but even he can't push the right verdict through. Sometimes justice can't win. Yes, I've heard about jurors being bribed and evidence being falsified. And that's how the notion of the Reaper of the Bailey came about, isn't it? Obviously, Scotland Yard suspected Van Zeeks initially. We all assumed he was taking matters into his own hands and we failed to seal the deal in court.
Gotta dip now, have fun with the rest of the game, bye bye. Thanks for showing up, Layumi, and thank you so much for the raid. Take care, bye bye.
Although the man himself denies that charge. Well, we've done a very thorough investigation and the conclusion we reached.
Bye.
is that Lord Van Zieks is in no way related to the deaths of the people outside the courtroom. There's no question in my mind. I'd stake my reputation on it, I would. But if that's true, then how do you explain it? All those defendants couldn't just have coincidentally died if nobody killed them. I know that, but I can't explain it. It's mystery after all, isn't it? That's the whole point of the Reaper. Professor Harebrained mentioned something else. He said that at university, Lord Van Zieks was a totally different person. Easygoing and kind. Whoa. He said that it was after they both graduated that something happened to change the man. Do you have any idea what it was? No clue. Really? Look, I've got my hands full watching over this frustrating crime scene. Why don't you go and make a nuisance of yourself elsewhere, eh? Everyone gets weird about this. I have a feeling they all know something. Okay. So we really can't examine anything here? Oops. Considering how badly damaged everything is, Professor Harebrained was lucky to escape unscathed, I say. We should have a good look around the machine while we can, I think. Touch anything, I'll make sure I'll kill you before I get strung up myself, you hear? I won't touch a thing, I promise. So please, spare a thought for your digestion. Anyway, do you really think this machine could actually disassemble people like the professor claims? Yes, looking totally incredulous. Get a rest, sunshine. If we were allowed to examine all this bleeding scrap metal, maybe we could answer that question. But we can't we?
Because of the annoying rules, you mean?
Exactly. Annoying, obstructive, flaming rules. Oh, look at the base of the machine there.
Oh yes, there's a tool of some kind poking through the wire mesh.
It's a screwdriver, I think.
Oh, isn't it a lovely one? The handle is in the shape of the capital letter A.
It is? Oh yeah, you're right. What's the matter with you? Don't touch anything, I said. Touch anything, I'll make sure I'll kill you before I get strung up myself, I said. Yes, I understand, sorry. I only touched a teeny weeny bird.
But Grexy, I'm very curious about this screwdriver. Really very, very curious.
Of course, your ladyship. You're so clever, your ladyship. Fancy spotting something like this. But I'm afraid I can't let you have it.
But Bruno found it first.
I assure you, I'll investigate it thoroughly. Okay. He's gone off with it.
That was very mean, I'm afraid. Inspector Gregson is going to make a very clumsy and embarrassing mistake in next month's installment now.
Poor Gregsy. What? Are you done yet, Mr. Naruto? Sorry? Well, is it about time you were leaving? Or rather, it is about time you were leaving. That lot are here now.
That lot?
Well, forensic investigation team. They'll be giving me the heave-ho in a minute too.
Oh dear, poor Gregsy. Here, have another cup of my special blend to cheer you up.
Oh, they hit the spot. Yup, it's every time. Well, at least I've seen the scene with my own eyes. It looks like this is as far as we're going to get with our investigations here, at least.
Been thinking. Hurley might know something, mightn't he?
About what?
About Mr. Reaper.
About what happened to Lord Van Zieks, you mean? Because it sounds like something very significant occurred after he graduated from university. Something that completely changed his life. Maybe, but I have no idea where to find Mr. Sholmes at the moment. He's in the middle of some big case, isn't he?
Here, this is what you need.
Madame Tuspells. What's this, some kind of entrance ticket? Madame Tussbells? Is this supposed to mean something to me?
You don't know it? It's the most popular attraction in London at the moment. It's very close to Baker Street, actually. You could go now if you like.
No, we don't have time for visiting attractions today, Iris. We have a big trial tomorrow.
But that's where Hurley is.
What? At this popular London attraction?
Yes.
How is it that you know where he is?
Hurley told me, but he told me to keep it a secret from you, Runo.
Madame Tussbells? I don't see how it could be related to the case we're investigating here, but then stranger things have happened, and when they happen, Mr. Sholmes is unusually at the heart of them. Alright. See you later, Gregson.
Super high voltage, instantaneous kinesis. I'm not super sure about that.
A museum of interesting waxwork exhibits not far from Baker Street has become a very popular London attraction in recent years.
This is where Hurley is. I'll let them know what he's up to, wouldn't you?
Waxwork exhibits. See.
I see. I get it now. I get it.
22nd October, Madame Tussbells Museum of Waxworks. Oh, gasp! 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 Very cool. What is this place? Ooh! That's cool. I like that sound. This is a cool song. It's spooky. Look at all these terrifying scenes. But why are all the people so still? Guillotines, ruthless murderers. I know what I'll be dreaming about tonight.
The old wax models. They're amazingly realistic, aren't they? What do you think, Runo? Shocked?
Wax models? I've read about dead bodies in wax once in a magazine about strange phenomena. Depending on how good corpses are kept after death, proportions of get turned to wax apparently. It's called adipocere.
Stop talking about creepy like things like that, Runo. You're scaring me. Anyway. Oh.
He's so scared. Oh my god.
Adipocere doesn't form readily, you know. It's only in very specific... What now?
I've just remembered something else I read in another magazine about strange phenomena. There was an old lady, maybe a witch, who used to pour molten wax over corpses and put them on display. I love Ryunosuke having such a deep fear of wax. Just like the concept of wax.
And none of the exhibits in here are real. They're all entirely man-made replicas.
It can't be. Do you really expect me to believe that? Just look at them.
Oh. Runo, you're hopeless.
There's no way anybody can make models of people that are this realistic. Oh. Just look at that one. And they're all such gruesome scenes. Wait.
What is it?
Oh, no. I must be seeing things. What? Wait, what is that? That's horrifying. That big heavy curtain is in a very prominent position, isn't it? I have a nasty feeling there's gonna be something truly terrifying behind it.
Oh yes. That's the famous Tussbells special exhibit. It depicts one of England's most notorious killers. Do you want to pay the extra fee and have a look?
Pay more money to be even more terrified? Oh, let me think about that for a moment.
It was only a suggestion.
Oh, he's so scared. These models are so well made, I can't tell what's a waxwork and what's a real human.
Or maybe.
All the exhibits are real people. Don't tell him that, Iris. He's clearly terrified.
And when it's closing time and all the visitors have gone home, they suddenly start moving about.
Oh, just thinking about it makes me wish it was closing time already and I was on my way home. Oops. Is this some infamous murderer?
Yes, called Jane the Ripper. All the victims were young women.
Oh. I knew it. You can tell by the way she's holding that knife. A sure sign of a murderer. Thanks, Ryanosuke. I don't know how else I would have came to that conclusion.
What? Yes.
What's the matter, Bruno? I've worked it out. I know what she's doing. She's trying to fill that bathtub with blood so she can have a soak in her victim's gore.
Not according to the information about the exhibit on the little board here. It doesn't mention anything about the bathtub.
Really?
Sorry, I don't think it's significant.
I still think it has to be there for a reason.
Oh, that's a funny place for a little ladder.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
What is it? Is something wrong?
No. It's just in Japanese we have a totally different word for a ladder that folds in half like that.
We do in English too, you know. It's a step ladder, or just steps. So be careful of making assumptions about other cultures, Rito. That's how wars are started.
I didn't realize stepladders were an international point of contention, but the writer makes an astute point. Is this an example of Western Toshigiri? Toshigiri?
I don't know what that is.
You know, when an unscrupulous samurai randomly attacks a passerby to test his sword.
I still don't know, no. But actually, a waxwork samurai would probably be hugely popular. Could you model it, do you think, Reno? Doing that sujigiri. There we go. Sujigiri thing you mentioned.
Well, I do have a sword, but I have no intention of testing how sharp it is on a human subject. For now, at least. Ryanosuke can't say things like that. Okay, let's examine Sholmes. I see him. It's... the great detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. They've turned him into wax. Mr. Sholmes has his own wax statue in here? Really?
Well, he is world famous after all.
It is an uncanny resemblance, isn't it? It makes my skin crawl to look at it. It's gonna move and scare the crap out of him.
I know. But look, Reno, you can kick this Hurley and he doesn't move a muscle.
You can't go around kicking the exhibits, Iris. Wait. It just moved, I'm sure. And not just a little bit either.
It blinks. Really? Did it?
And look closely. There are beads of sweat on the face of this waxwork model. Shall we move on, Iris? Over there, look. There's a great murder scene to enjoy, much more appealing.
Hold it!
My dear fellow, I take exception to your recoiling in such a manner as if you've seen something truly abhorrent. Mr. Sholmes! I knew it, did you? Iris, what possessed you? I strictly forbade you from divulging my temporary waxwork secret to Mr. Naruhodo. Temporary waxwork? What do you mean? And that kick, could you not have exercised a little more restraint? You winded me.
But Reno has something he needs to ask you.
Oh, a question.
And I thought you'd probably be getting bored too. So here we are.
Well, I can't deny that your timing was impeccable. A mere 2 minutes more being stationary like that, and my great brain upon which all my success has been built would have turned to wax. Thank goodness we arrived in time. Indeed, in many ways, the pair of you just saved the world from an unimaginable loss.
Oh, Haley, you like to talk nonsense, don't you?
He can know something, it's true, about Lord Von Zieks and what happened in the past to change him. Now that you're here, let's take our time. How can I be of assistance? For you're in luck. I'm suddenly quite taken with the idea of conversing. Oh, well, actually, I'm in quite a hurry. And if my eyes don't deceive me, I believe something is afoot within the walls of this very museum. A most fascinating case, if I'm not mistaken.
A second murder?
Really? More, though. I have a strong suspicion that it's related to the matter about which you've come to me now. But how could it be? We shall speak again presently, my dear fellow. But for now, I must return to my work. What? Back to being a temporary waxwork exhibit? What is this place? Madame Tuspels came to London from France 3 years ago, I understand. Since she opened this little waxwork museum last year, it's enjoyed great popularity in London. There are numerous museums like this in Japan too, but these displays are something else. I mean, they aren't made from actual real people, are they? The extreme realism of these waxworks models is a particular secret of the Tuspels family, they say. They earned renown during the French Revolution for waxworks of victims of the guillotine. That sounds grim. The gruesome scenes were portrayed with such realism in the expressions of the faces of the condemned.
Apparently, the sculptors would make the models directly from the corpses, right there at the site of the executions.
That really turns my stomach. That's just one of several legends about the Tuspels family. Whether there's any truth in it, I couldn't say. But anyway, this museum houses models of famous people from all over the globe. Nevertheless, the most popular area of the museum, by quite some margin, is this House of Horrors. House of Horrors? Of course, visitor numbers are dwindling now as a result of the Great Exhibition. But people usually flock here to see the exhibits of some of London's most violent criminals at their most gruesome work. Naturally, most of the miscreants portrayed here were sent to the gallows. So they're even stiffer now than the models of them. Have you heard of poor taste? My dear fellow, the public live for poor taste. They yearn to be shocked. So the hideous exhibits in here are...
They're all portrayals of real events that actually took place.
Is it just me? Or did the temperature in here just seem to drop? Anyway, I advise you not to think too deeply about what you see here. Oh, he's back to being a waxwork, is he? What do you mean by a temporary waxwork, Mr. Sholmes? Exactly what you see. I'm part of the exhibits here, catching these criminals in the act. Catching them? Every half an hour, I home in on a different killer in one of the displays and adopt a new pose to ensnare him. When members of the public come for a closer look, I offer them my hand to shake. For a shilling, I'll happily allow them to take a photograph with us. Us? Does he mean him and the waxwork murderers in here? But why, Mr. Sholmes? My dear fellow, isn't it obvious? For the money! Of course. He really roared at me there. Very fitting for the House of Horrors. As it stands, I may struggle to pay this month's rent, and I have the ravenous iris to consider.
Oh, Haley, I'm so hungry.
If push comes to shove, I shall have to ask you to do your bit, Mr. Naruhodo. What's he threatening to rope me into now? So, with that in mind, how about a photograph? As a special treat, you may have your pick of the murderers and scoundrels in here. The choice is yours. Maybe some other time. Remember, Mr. Naruhodo, ignore me at your peril. Back to being a waxwork again. Is it just me, or did his final remark there sound a lot like a curse? Well, what is it you'd like to ask me then? Actually, it's about Lord Van Zieks. Our friend Mr. Reaper. How'd you find him? Well, I trust. And so I filled Mr. Sholmes in about everything I learned. About Lord Van Zieks, about Professor Harebrain, and about the strange coincidence that they had been at university together. So I'm wondering what it was that happened to make Lord Van Zieks such a different person.
I was sure that you know Hurley.
You said there was something going on here in this exhibit hall before? That something was afoot? And that you believed it was related to what I wanted to ask you about? Mr. Sholmes? He suddenly clammed up. Well, it seems we've reached the unavoidable. No! No! He was finally going to tell us something! God damn it! Greetings. It's me, Mysterious Voice. Hello! Oh, hello. Where did she appear from? Hello, pretty. And what's she wearing? Could she look any more mysterious? Hello, pretty!
I hope you are appreciating my museum.
Sorry, have we... Mr. Sholmes, do you know this? Not again.
My apologies. I am Esmeralda Tuspels. This is my museum of waxwork.
What? You're the Madame Tuspels?
Bien sûr. They're only 26 years young, I might add.
Is that significant somehow?
I'm a madame in name only. It has a certain je ne sais quoi.
Right.
Firstly, I must apologize for my waxworks. Or rather, one waxwork in particular.
That'll be Mr. Sholmes then.
I was led to believe he was a great detective, but he seems unable to settle. Next time we move from your designated exhibit, there will be toil and trouble.
Oh my god. She killed him.
She sounds deadly serious.
Deadly. That's a problem. How am I supposed to ask Mr. Sholmes about Lord Van Zieks now?
Let's not forget what Hurley said before. About something being afoot. Right here in the museum, I mean.
Yes, I know, but...
I'm so curious. I want to know what's happening here.
Haven't we got enough on our plate already? Did you make all these waxworks, Madame Tuspels?
I did. I am the third generation of waxworks artisans, you know. Gosh. It was my grandmother who began the tradition in my family. Her fortunes were checkered, living through the turbulent times of the French Revolution as she did. So that is, when she acquired the savoir-faire that leads to the astonishing lifelikeness. All these waxworks really do look as though they're alive. In fact, they look more alive than Hurley. What you see exhibited here represents the most atrocious of London's criminal past. All the waxworks were created in the presence of the real people on which they are modeled. In the hours immediately following their executions. That is the secret to the extraordinary lifelikeness.
That sounds terrifying.
All walks of life have similar challenges, I'm sure. To carry out one's trade par excellence, one must go to extraordinary lengths. My exhibits are a reflection of society. I create only that which the public wishes to see.
Why couldn't the public have wished for something less horrifying?
Do not fear.
Sorry?
The room is only one in the museum with such a macabre theme. I do hope you'll explore. There are models of famous singers, actors, politicians, something for every taste, I hope.
It was Irish who dragged me straight in here, come to think of it.
Sorry, perhaps I should have eased you into things.
What's the situation with that?
Oh, this is my temporary waxwork model. He approached me some days ago, you see, with a business proposal.
Oh, what sort of proposal? My dear madam, what these sparse exhibits need is the addition of a world-famous great detective.
Or words to that effect. Naturally, I'm well aware that Mr. Shons is widely known in London as a talented detective.
It's great detective, actually. He's very specific about it.
Yes, the creme de la creme. So I was keen to come to some arrangement with him, of course. But sadly, we were unable to agree terms.
Let me guess. Someone wanted to charge an exorbitant price for his services? For a mere £500, I will dive into your cauldron of wax this very moment.
Oh, words to that effect.
Mr. Shums might have overdone it slightly with the sales pitch.
Regrettably, the museum has a shortage of funds at the moment, due to unforeseen circumstances. So we came to the current arrangement instead.
Surely he doesn't really need to do what he's doing, though, does he?
I would think not, but he was very insistent.
I have a 50-shilling problem. This must be resolved by the morning.
Or words to that effect. It's the pawnbroker, that's what it is. He must have something to redeem.
Is the consulting detective work not going so well? Something afoot. I wonder if I could ask you something?
Bien sûr.
I was just curious. Is anything going on in the museum at the moment? Some kind of incident, perhaps? What makes you say that?
Whoever suggested such a thing to you?
Well, it was your temporary waxwork over there who mentioned it to me a little. He's disappeared! Oh, he's disappeared! Oh my god. Hitting all the exact dialogues with Iris and Randowska today. A wax model is a work of art, not some tawdry object for trade. There you are!
Leaving the exhibit again when you should be working. Do you wish to be melted down?
My dear Madame Taspels, save your reprimands. There are more pressing concerns. The wax can wait. It's our ideas about your current problem we must throw into the melting pot instead. Personally, I would advise you not to involve the police.
What? Why ever not?
She's turned white as a sheet. Because you have at your disposal a great detective whose services you may employ for a mere 50 shillings. Though be aware that I insist upon payment in advance. Very well. Let us see if the great detective is able to live up to his name, shall we? Before I engage in my analytical processes, I must ask you to clarify something. What, pray, is behind the curtain?
That is the Tuspel special exhibit. There's an extra charge to see it.
Oh, the special exhibit in the House of Horrors. It must depict a special killer then, I presume. Would you be so kind as to draw back the curtain, I wonder?
Absolutely none. There is nothing amiss behind there.
Nothing amiss, madam. What about the arm protruding ominously from under the curtain? I strongly encourage you to allow me to see what lies beyond, before the situation worsens.
Yes, very well. I will draw back the curtains, but only a soupçon.
That is it. No, number 139. I must confess I peeked behind the curtain earlier. The Tuspel special exhibit is a very bleak graveyard scene indeed. And yet, somewhat surprisingly, as a waxwork killer one would expect is nowhere to be seen. What does strike one, however, is the portly gentleman lying peacefully on his back on the floor. Well, then perhaps Mr. Sholmes, that man on the floor, is the ruthless killer himself? I'm afraid not, my dear fellow. He's a perfectly ordinary London gentleman. Not even a waxwork, in fact. What? As skillfully made as these waxworks are, they are always distinguishable from real humans. So, allow me to present my two conclusions. The first is that a sizable business transaction has been taking place in this special exhibit.
Why would you say that?
And the second is that the aforementioned transaction is linked to a serious crime. She looks as pale as candle wax.
I don't understand.
So, Madame Tuspels, as you've agreed to my fee, you should now have the pleasure of seeing this famously great detective and temporary exhibit at work. Oh, we're doing a deduction. Topic 1. Waxworks Fate. To begin with, we must ask ourselves what exactly is afoot here in this museum. The answer is revealed by the bundle of banknotes protruding so helpfully from your bag. In my estimation, some £200.
That is all my own money.
So what does this large sum of money reveal? Ah, not as much as the involuntary glance you cast there would seem, Madame Tuspels. Yes, the answer lies where your eyes now fall. The significance of the £200 is revealed by that public notice. Waxwork for sale? Your business has hit hard times, it would seem. In short, you sold the infamous killer the centerpiece of your special exhibit for the sum of £200.
None!
Now, let us explore the next curiosity with which we are presented. Who was the portly gentleman stretched out so peacefully on the floor? It would appear the man has suffered a severe shock, the cause of which is clearly known to you. Unfortunately, madam, keeping secrets does not appear to be your forte. What dealt the man such a shocking blow was, of course, the £200. It would appear that you twisted this gentleman around your little finger most effectively. What are you suggesting? He rashly agreed to purchase the waxwork for the sum of £200. Only when he came to hand the money over did it occur to him what an extortionate amount he was paying. Thus the money was no longer in his hands. And the result, the scene we see before us. He collapsed in shock. Yes, the killer in the special exhibit fetched a killer price. We can only pray that the gentleman's dreams are not plagued with regret. Sold for cash. The question that arises then is what has become of the waxwork that changed hands? Let us consider that problem for a moment. You cannot possibly... What immediately strikes me about this conundrum is the young man standing over there. Who is this fellow? To find the answer, we need only observe his neckerchief, such as is worn by policemen as a secret sign to fellow members of the force that a crime is being perpetrated. Yes, this young man is an undercover policeman, currently investigating this museum. I know him well, in fact. It's Sergeant John Clay. What are you talking about? The man's quite a celebrity. He received triple accolades at last year's policing awards. But next, we turn our attention to the old man sat before him with his particularly unsightly visage. I've been watching closely and he hasn't moved a muscle, almost, in fact, as if he were a waxwork. But you... Your reactions only confirm my suspicions, madam. I noticed it at once, of course. Observe. The telltale sign that instantly proves whether or not this old man is waxwork is the obvious price tag. Threepence? A tragically low price, you might say. Though perhaps the going rate for aging waxworks riddled with cracks. And yet you sold it to the portly gentleman for an exorbitant £200. The sort of plucky behaviour that's sure to attract the attention of Scotland Yard. Isn't that so, madam?
I do not.
Yes, the waxwork you sold has already been seized by the police and remains in their custody as we speak. The old man must be reunited with his grave in the special exhibit and not a moment too soon. Okay. Discovered already. And thus concludes Sherlock Sholmes' great deduction of this horrifying puzzle. Cool. I've seen I've stunned you all into silence.
You have, Hurley. You have. And you've obviously upset this young lady in the process. The cauldron looks awfully hot.
If I could just bring up one point, Mr. Sholmes. Ah, the notorious Naruhodo 1 point. I'm all ears, my dear fellow. According to your deduction, then, the special exhibit featured this old policeman? So, that would mean that he's the particularly ruthless murderer, wouldn't it? The killer policeman, Ottermole. Sorry? It was a mysterious series of murders that rattled the capital only last year. The police rushed to the scene every time, only to find the culprit had disappeared into the aether.
And it turns out the culprit was a policeman himself, a senior officer by the name of Ottermole.
So you mean that's who the sinister-looking old man there is supposed to be? Indeed. It is a particularly grim face, is it not? Unforgettable, in fact. Yes, I remember that odious countenance only too well. But is £200 a lot of money for a wax model? It would be enough to afford one of the latest steam carriages, if that puts things in perspective. So, it is quite a lot then.
Is there anything else you wish to add? Before I melt you down.
That bubbling wax is looking more and more ominous.
The smell of all that melted wax is starting to worry me.
Mr. Sholmes did more or less just accuse her to her face, so... I think I might have to call on your assistance here, Iris, if that's alright. To make some minor corrections to the Great Detective's Great Deductions.
Of course it's alright. Let's set things straight.
Well, let's get started then, shall we? Before Madame Tuspels vents her anger. And just what I was waiting to hear, my dear fellow. So, Madame Tuspels, in accordance with our agreement, you should now have the pleasure of seeing this famously great detective and temporary exhibit at work. Course correction. To begin with, we must ask ourselves what exactly is afoot here in this museum. Yeah, I'll speed through this. The answer is revealed by the bundle of banknotes protruding so helpfully from your bag. In my estimation, some £200. That is all my own money. So what does this large sum of money reveal? Oh, not as much as the involuntary glance you cast, it would seem. Madame Tuspels. Yes, the answer lies where your eyes fall now. The significance of the £200 is revealed by that public notice. She definitely looked in this direction, it's true.
But I'm not sure she'd sell any of her waxworks even for £200.
Oh?
She must pour her heart and soul into making them, don't you think? Over and above the wax. If it were me, I wouldn't sell them for anything.
For that much money, I would. But it sounds like that makes me a bad person. Well, anyway, I wonder if the £200 could have some other significance.
Let's follow that furtive glance again and see if there's anything else that can explain it.
It seems this well-dressed gentleman is alive after all, just not alive and kicking. And he's not a waxwork or a model or of a mass murderer.
I'm not sure I'd pay £200 for him.
I don't think the man's up for sale.
Well, anyway, it was a silly place to put him. Other museum visitors could easily trip.
I don't think the man was put there on purpose either. Oh. Oh, £200 right there.
What's that note doing pinned on the wall there?
Oh, yes, let's see. Dear Madame Tuspels, we've taken the prisoner from this room. The price for his safe return is £200. Have the money ready by noon on 23rd October.
What?
It's just like the sort of thing that's left behind when someone is kidnapped.
Yes, it's a ransom note.
Exactly. Ransom note.
Take that!
The significance of the £200 is revealed by that ransom note. Quite so. We must congratulate these criminals on their inventiveness, abducting a waxwork. £200 is no small ransom fee, yet you clearly intend to pay it.
The modern question has special importance, so I put together all the money I have.
In summary, then, the £200 you have in your handbag is ransom money. Now, let us explore the next curiosity with which we are presented. Who is the portly gentleman stretched out so peacefully on the floor? It would appear the man has suffered a severe shock, the cause of which is clearly known to you. Unfortunately, madam, keeping secrets does not appear to be your forte. What dealt the man such a shocking blow was, of course, the £200. So if the waxwork was kidnapped, where does that leave us in terms of who this man is?
We could just ask him when he comes round.
I think the point of this exercise is to understand the beauty of the deduction process, Iris.
Yes, you're right. Hurley's trying so hard, we mustn't let him down.
Well, there's little doubt that he suffered a shock. That much seems clear. But in that case, what's Madame Tuspels trying to hide? Let's have a closer look around. Okay. Oh. She's a hand.
This is just Madame Tespel's right hand, isn't it?
No. Yes, it must be. I can clearly see her left hand after all.
Oh, but wait a minute. This is a left hand as well, look.
Don't say such creepy things, Iris, please.
And it seems very stiff, too. In fact, it's really hard.
You mean it's made of wax? A waxwork hand.
Take that!
What dealt the man such a shocking blow was, of course, the waxwork hand. Indeed, with a solid waxwork limb, one could deliver a very substantial blow. How could you? The hand protruding from the bottom of your cape is thought to be a right hand, but closer inspection reveals that, in fact, it's a left hand. And somewhat masculine as well. In other words, it does not belong to you, madam. It is the hand of a waxwork model. Oh! It's a full arm.
Some of the visitors to my museum can be troublesome. They meddle with the exhibits and cause damage.
So you mean that arm?
Yes, this gentleman saw fit to try to remove it as a souvenir.
No small keepsake. Like taking a whole branch of a cherry tree when you go to view the blossoms.
I'm afraid I had to teach the man a lesson.
You confronted the man and tried to take the arm back. As a result, the scene we see before us, he was knocked unconscious. A point we may need to revisit later, but for the time being we have our conclusion. Yes, the killer in this special exhibit has been kidnapped. Alright. The question that arises then is what has become of the waxwork that changed hands? Let us consider that problem for a moment.
You cannot possibly.
What immediately strikes me about this conundrum is the young man standing over there. Who is this fellow? To find the answer, we need only observe his neckerchief. According to Mr. Sholmes, the yellow neckerchief is a sign to other policemen that some crime is underway.
A way of communicating with his colleagues without revealing his identity, yes. It's a secret that's closely guarded by Scotland Yard.
That Mr. Sholmes didn't hesitate to give away.
Well, uncovering secrets is in any true detective's nature, of course.
Right. Anyway, judging from Madame Tuspel's reaction to Mr. Sholmes' deduction, I think perhaps we might not have identified the man quite correctly. Aha! He's missing an arm. What the? The man has a stub sticking out of his shoulder where his arm should be.
Oh, well that settles that then.
Right, this isn't a real person at all.
His entire arm's been ripped off from the shoulder down.
His arm's been... Of course, that hasn't what we found out.
Take that!
Who is this fellow? To find the answer, we need only observe his shoulder stub. No such boneless human walks this earth, of that I can assure you. In other words, the man standing here, the young Sergeant John Clay, is in fact, defying all odds, a waxwork model. I seem to remember it was you who concluded he was a real person in the first place, Mr. Sholmes.
He has become quite a celebrity in London, being the winner of no less than 3 policing awards last year. I simply had to make a model of the man.
Naturally, what other explanation could there be? And it was the detective's arm that was pulled off by the man on the floor in the special exhibit, wasn't it? Next we turn our attention to the old man sat before him, with a particularly unsightly visage. I've been watching closely and he hasn't moved a muscle, almost in fact as if he were a waxwork.
But you...
Your reaction only confirms my suspicions, madam. I noticed that at once, of course. Observe. The telltale sign that instantly proves whether or not this old man is a waxwork is the obvious price tag. A killer policeman called Ottermole, was it? Was he well known?
It was all over the papers last year, but I can't say I know what he looks like.
It's very low price, though.
It's very low price though. Threepence isn't much money.
Only enough for a few measly hours of gas in Mr. Garrideb's delightful lodgings, in fact. So this is the special killer taken from the special exhibit, is it? The waxwork that somebody stole from the museum and tried to ransom for £200? Is this crusty old killer policeman Ottermole? Really?
Perhaps we should have a good look around again and see if another idea crops up.
Notice he's got the scarf. Oh, he's tapping his foot! I don't believe it.
It's the secret sign that lets other detectives know that criminal activity is underway.
Yes, it's a slightly strange choice of outfit if he was trying to go unnoticed.
Ah, he must be a detective disguised as a policeman.
Or a detective disguised as a waxwork of a model of a policeman.
It doesn't look like he's clever enough to think of something like that, though.
Perhaps you should try to be a little more polite about him, Iris. He's tapping his foot.
Take that!
The telltale sign that answers proves whether or not this old man is a waxwork is the obvious twitch. Even the most realistic waxworks do not exhibit a twitch. In other words, this splendid old man is in fact a genuine member of Scotland Yard. A slight shift in your choice of adjectives, then. And there you have it. Well, Madame Tuspels?
Well, right. It was me who contacted the police and demanded that someone come in the first place.
He is clearly fatigued.
He is sound asleep.
But then, what is this tag about showing a price of three pence? No doubt the price tag of the muffler, which the old Bobby purchased recently at a local market. Oh, of course. And I presume you observed the scarf tied around his arm. Does that not strike you, Mr. Naruhodo? Really, Mr. Naruhodo, how could you not tell? Yes, the secret sign used by detectives to show that some criminal activity is currently underway.
Of course, because, as you know, there has been just such criminal activity happening here, as you deduced from the very beginning, detective.
So it would seem that we finally arrive at the truth. The waxwork of the especially ruthless killer from the special exhibit has been kidnapped. And Scotland Yard is already investigating. But the model's whereabouts remain a mystery. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this horrifying puzzle. Huzzah. Still a mystery.
Elementary. All sorts of people visit my museum here. Men and women, young and old. Sometimes they drop in just for a short time on their way back from the pub. I welcome them all. But if anyone tries to damage my exhibits,
I do not take it lightly. Anyway. She's so cool.
Your great seduction was even more enchanting than I been led to believe.
It was a pleasure, my dear madam. I'm gratified that you enjoyed the spectacle. And as for your rough customer, I've no doubt he'll regain consciousness shortly and return home. What concerns me more is the waxwork from the special display, if it was indeed genuinely abducted.
Yes, tragically it was.
Then I will ask you to recount to us the events surrounding the stolen waxwork, in as much detail as possible, if you please.
Very well. But after I've told you what I know, I must insist that you return to your work.
The talents of a great detective could be put to better use, I feel, but as you wish. Tell us more about the stolen waxwork, please.
It was some days ago now, when I came in here one morning. I immediately noticed that a waxwork was missing from the special exhibit here. It is your most prominent display, so that's why the curtains were closed. As I found, there's a ransom note in its place.
The culprit must have broken in during the night and taken it then.
So this waxwork that was stolen, it was a model of some horrible criminal, I suppose. Of a particularly horrible criminal, in fact. He's a killer who left a more profound scar on society than any other, I would say.
The professor. Oh. Not a name I've heard of. So, Mr. Naruhodo, it seems the circle is complete. Sorry?
The professor case happened at around the time I was born, didn't it?
Oh, it's recent. 10 years ago. Indeed it did, Iris. 10 years ago. A series of murders that rocked the capital. 10 years ago? Yes, at exactly the time that Barak von Zieks graduated from university, in fact. Huh. What? Surely he's not saying...
So, the big event that changed Mr. Reaper's life.
As you've surmised, it was the professor case. Who was this professor then?
It was a series of gruesome murders that had odds of London gripped in terror a decade ago. After 5 victims were killed, the man was arrested and put to death.
And now he's immortalized here in wax for all Londoners to admire and enjoy. Though, of course, he happens to be absent at present on account of the abduction. But I don't understand. How is all this related to Lord Van Zieks? You must first understand, my dear fellow, why it is that the professor earned such infamy. It was due to the victims he chose, some of Whitehall's finest.
What do you mean, Hurley?
Those murdered by the professor were some of the highest members of the British aristocracy. Family members, members of the nobility, even royalty. It sent shockwaves to the country's administration. Members of the... wait, of course! Professor Harebrine said, Lord Van Zieks is from a family with noble blood.
Oh, gosh.
It was the 5th victim that led to the professor's arrest. The last of the killer's prey was a young noble by the name of... Clint Van Zieks. No. I don't believe it. Van Zieks? I'm sure you can piece together the rest for yourself. In the wake of his older brother's murder, the young Barak pursued a career as a prosecutor, and eventually became the Reaper we know today. I had no idea Lord Van Zieks had such a tragic past. Of course he did. Just look at him. Obviously he had a tragic past. All prosecutors do. Name one prosecutor. Well, I'm afraid that's all I can say on the matter. For the time being, at least. Found out the Goofy Sims 4 knowledge. Turns out there's a stamp function for pet colors, which includes a lipstick mark. So next Sims family I'll have a dog whose owner will constantly forget she has lipstick on. Cute. After all, I have work to do. As a waxwork exhibit. I'm afraid I'll have to excuse myself as well. Oh, yes, of course. It's been a pleasure. Thank you. Well, none of the predicted scenarios I've been analyzing involved you coming... Oh, wait. Well, none of the predicted scenarios I've been analyzing involved you coming to visit me here. Oh. Never bothered with pets before, but I decided to goof around with it. Nice. It's been too long, it really has. I'm delighted to see you, Barrack. It's been 10 years, and here we are, meeting in a prison of all places. I can't forgive myself for what happened to Mr. Osmond. I can't forgive myself for what happened to Mr. Osmond. I just can't. I still can't believe it could happen. Tomorrow, the court will decide. Yes. I have a young Eastern man acting for my defense. He seems reliable enough, though. It was an accident. Terrible accident. He assures me he could prove it. I must warn you. Oh, I know. I've heard already. You're going to be prosecuting, aren't you? Yes. Since I returned to England, I've heard lots of stories. Barrack, are you really... What? Never mind. Putting these two side by side, it's so funny to realize that they were friends because, like, just like their, like, designs are so vastly different from each other. I know that you have my best interest at heart. Aw, my friend is on trial. I wouldn't entrust it to anybody else. That makes sense. Yeah. Of course. I fully understand. Thank you, Barrack. Until tomorrow, then. I'll see you in court. Aw. To be continued. That was a long part. I have a feeling this is gonna be a long case. Very exciting. Very exciting. Ugh. Trial part 1, yep. Well, my friends. Thank you so much for tuning into the stream today. We'll be back again tomorrow where we'll start court for this case. This has been so much fun. And a thank you again to Layumi for the raid. The rough equivalent of this is Edward demanding to be the only one to prosecute his favorite actor. Yeah. Thank you all again. It's been so fun. I'll be back again most likely tomorrow. I hope you all take care. I'll be sending you off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye bye.